Alright, we're going to play more of a Moyo style this game. Haven't done this in a while. I usually don't do this with even games because that's just kind of a weird play. He doesn't actually... Going over here, he... Okay. It's not one I expected. Definitely not one I expected. I don't know if he expected me to do this or something, but this is actually not a great result for him. I don't think it is anyways. I think I might have gone there, but to me this is not a great result for him. I think he's giving up way too much in terms of outside. That move doesn't make any sense. I don't exactly know what to play here. Maybe I should have just ignored what he's done. But none of these moves make all that much sense to me. I'm not exactly sure I know how to respond. But see, like, this doesn't make any sense because it gives me Sente on both these moves, which is obviously bad for white. I mean, he gets this in here, and he's just losing so much here. Gives me way too much influence out here. Yeah, no. I've told you several times. I've told people several times why this is not a good move here. Okay, collapse and do this, or let's do this first. It's a tough one, actually. I probably should have done the other thing first, but either way. Yeah, well, let's do this. It's kind of dangerous because he can actually. Oh, I should have done that first. Oh, I messed up on here. Definitely messed up on here. Severely messed up. I actually did play this wrong. That might have saved me, actually. Should have jumped out, most likely. Letting me close off on the side and do this, that's definitely not good for him. The corner, honestly, isn't all that big. I'm giving up, but I definitely played that wrong. That group is still not that strong. I'm actually going to do this now because I have this wall over here. This guy is playing way too aggressive. But that's like most players on Fox. Like, players on Fox tend to play incredibly aggro. They do actually tend to hoard territory, and they play incredibly aggro. I'm not really afraid in letting him live down here. I mean, the point is not to actually kill him. It's to build the outer Moyo, because I didn't actually get... I didn't actually get... give up too much. It's just like the couple of corners that I gave up, so it's not like a big deal. So this way, I'll give him that corner as well, if he really wants to play that. I don't mind playing a Moyo shape. Because none of his groups are really that strong. And you can kind of see how like all this is coming together, for me at least. Because like this is how you, like, I've learned this from Kata Go. This is kind of how you build the Moyo. It's definitely not a good move. This is kind of how you build the Moyo and gain points. He can't do that because I will actually ram in here. Yes, indeed, I did give up a ton of points. I did indeed give up a lot of points here. That's not useful. I gotta strengthen this group just in case. I want to like take away some of the eye spots. My goal wasn't actually to kill this piece. My goal was just to solidify my Moyo up here, so I can. I think he's dead now. Like keep on. I can attack like both of these groups at the same time, while like solidifying my territory over here. This is like kind of how you use Moyos. You do not use Moyos to try to just like surround as much territory as possible. You have to attack if you're going to play Moyo style. Obviously, I messed up in this corner here. This was a bad mistake by me.
Yoyomi now starts.
Since I killed that, I'm pretty much already won. So, yeah. I don't know what I'm going to do here. I think like this really doesn't matter all that much. It's probably not a good move, but this doesn't. I mean, like, there's not much territory down here, anyways. There's really not that much territory down here, anyways. I basically just have to more or less solidify the Moyo. I don't mind if he actually gets the territory down here. Really don't care if he gets the territory down here or not. I can always just try to cut here. So I think it's better if I just seal this off. And there's still threat to this down here. Since he did that, I'm going to seal this off now. This is basically how you use Moyo and influence to actually win. You don't, I'm just gonna do this, but like this is how you use Moyo and influence to actually get points and win.
Yoyomi now starts.
I'm gonna seal off some of this territory here. If he does that, I can just block. That doesn't really matter. I don't think he can kill me in any way, so I'm gonna seal off this here. Because this is gonna be more than enough territory to combat whatever territory that he has. Because he doesn't actually have that much territory. He just has this bottom here, which is a decent amount. It's also a really bad move because it actually fixes this problem here. And now since this is all dead and this is like configured, he's definitely just lost the game because there's essentially no way he has more territory than me. There was two or three breakpoints here and over here that he could have used, but him just like being obsessive with this down here basically just like let me get all of that. I'm pretty sure I'm ahead right now if you estimate the score. Yeah, I'm like above by like 50 points. And this just kind of came like and this obviously just came like naturally. So like sacrificing bottom turret, like I kind of learned a little bit from playing against Katago how he played all these forcing moves to actually allow me to build territory. But this is kind of like how you play the Moyo style. I shouldn't have messed up over it. I mean, this eventually didn't come out to be too bad, but definitely something I didn't want to do over here. He essentially has no chance of winning now, I don't think. I mean, there's no way he's going to break through my territory at this point. I really don't even care if he gets this territory because it's kind of irrelevant. Like, gets the stone. It definitely would reduce his liability, but it's not going to be enough. Now, you can't be too jubilant. You can't really be, he forfeited. So you can't be too jubilant about doing stuff like this because you give up too much bottom territory, you will actually lose. So let's actually go back and review this game. This is an interesting game. Like, I haven't played one like this for a while. So if you want to play Moyo style, the three-star connect, as I call it, is one of the best ways to do it. That's not a good play. If anything, you should definitely come out here. And if you want to play the Moyo style for black, this is exactly what you would do, or hope for, is kind of like this kind of setup. You do have to sacrifice both corners though, and then it just depends on like what white. It then depends on like what white does to actually destroy your Moyo and how you can use the influence to attack. But essentially, like the three-star connect is the way you would play Moyo. You generally do not invade in here, because if you invade in here, like even if I just do something like this, you're still at a loss because like if you do this, I just block down, and that's never a good trade for white, right? So you don't generally invade in here. So I go overhead. Yeah, just letting me form on the outside here is definitely no good. Generally, like you would play like this, but then like you're kind of in trouble here because this stone separates, like limits your expansion. And this is basically not a way that you would actually want to play the Moyo. I mean, this is not the way that white actually wants to play this expansion, because now these kind of stones are in trouble. If you do this, I do this, and you don't have any potential to expand over here because of my 2 stone situation. So invading on this side's not a good idea. You should invade on that. You should approach from that side. We play this out. This is actually really bad for him. This is actually really bad for him. He can't actually do this. He can't do this because... Actually, no, he can do that, I guess. So, yeah, I mean, I guess he should have done that. But even that's, like, it's not a good... It's definitely not a good situation for him. Because I can just, like, come down on this side. It's not as bad as it ended up for him. So, he might have just been able... He might have should have just done this. Because he has this Atari... Or he has the Atari, it's not really that big of a deal. I can't actually do something like this. So, yeah, that's probably the move he should have made. Because he can actually make that move, but he decides to go here, which is a perfect block for me. He goes, that doesn't make any sense. I don't have any threat there. I mean, like, here you either would go here, and I would definitely be very, very hesitant about this. I probably wouldn't do this because the most I can get from this is like these 2 stones, and to me that's actually okay for me. That's actually okay for me because I do get some territory and I get a big wall over here, so that's actually not that bad for me either. This is just like restraining yourself and giving me pretty much all the centes. Like getting a couple of points in trade for this giant walls, no good. I think like this would have been a decent move here as well, but I decided just to approach. Kick. That's generally not a good move. This is one I generally play out. I didn't actually expect him to go on this side. I actually kind of expected him to play the original, just like go on this side. I do this. This is kind of what I expected. I've played that many times, and obviously because I have all this other walls over here, like this is pretty beneficial to me. So I screwed up because I'm not really used to this, essentially. I think I should have kept on going here. And, I mean, it would have kind of been the same thing, I guess. But, you know, the thing is, like, this is actually, like, much, much better than for him than how, like, stuff actually turned out. Because I didn't get this wall over here. I guess I could have also extended this... I guess I could have also extended this first and kind of like forced this. And you would have to go here. I would go here. And this would actually, I mean, that probably is probably what I should have done. But he actually made a lot of mistakes here. He actually did make a ton of mistakes here. I Atari this just to prevent that. And then this, get this Hane. On this move... he definitely should have jumped out. At this point, like this is actually a really, really bad Joseki for me, because I have these 2 cutting points here, so I would have to probably do something like this, or like I would just go one more and then do something like this. This is okay for me because I'm strong on this side, but having this side come out is really, really bad for me. So I made a mistake here. That's a big mistake. If you jump out, you're still alive, and I don't think, like, there's no way I could really threaten this. There really is no way I can actually threaten this, because yeah, I just don't see a way I can threaten that. So he does this. I mean, the only thing I could really do here is maybe like this. But then, you know, if you just like do that, I mean, he wins the Liberty War. So there's really like nothing I can do about it. This is a mistake play by me. Of course, like that's a big mistake because it lets me get out the outer. It lets me completely clamp the outer as well. And now I would say this is definitely better for black. This result. So the big thing that he missed here was not that. Playing this. That's the big thing he missed here, because that would have definitely limited my Moyo building a little bit more. At this point, I probably would have played some kind of move, forcing move like that. But, you know, this is actually a big problem. This is actually a really, really big problem here. on this cut. So like, yeah, that's a huge, that's a big problem on the cut. So at this point, I would actually have to do this. Otherwise, this cut's like too big, and then he could have just done this as well. So this would definitely be a much better result for him. So I made that mistake, but he made a major mistake here. Lets me clasp, and then lets me heal here. Lets me get the protect. He does that. That's fine. I was never really trying to attack the stone all that much, at least not right now. I do this. This is just getting way too aggressive because your stones really aren't that strong here. And then I can easily attack you here as well. Like, I could even do something like this right now. I don't think it'd be that effective in attacking, but I mean, I'm pretty strong over here and over here. So he's just being a little too aggressive here. He's trying to break my Moyo, but there's definitely other ways I can use my influence. I go down here. He does that, do that, basic, and then he jumps up here, which is okay. I'm just going to play this to see what he does. This isn't really that forceful of a move. I'm not really trying to kill either group. I'm basically trying to use these two groups to build my Moyo here. He does that. I'm going to do that. See, like, I'm just trying to like solidify this place off here. It's not that effective because he still has this move over here. Do this. He does this. I'm going to do this. He does that. I don't know about this move. I mean, like, once you do this move, I don't consider a great move. You know, like, it might be better for him if he just does something like this and maybe try to like get some eye space down here. Because if you don't make this move, you have the option for like something like this, which is a lot more effective in breaking my shape. Once you do something like this and I crawl up, the only thing you have is left is this attachment, which is still there, but I kind of killed off later while attacking that group. So essentially, like, he does this, then he goes over there, and he creates another weak group for himself. I mean, this one's really not that weak. So here, this is like just here, like just jumping out here or like doing something is a lot more important than this, because this move will always be here for you. I'm probably just not going to make that move. Like, there's no way I would make that. There's very little way I would make this move and allow you to jump down here or something. So just jump out again. This is a bad trade move for him. It builds up this Moyo a lot, and like I said, like, you still have this attach move here, which is something that he should have done later. He does this, which was fine. This particular move, you might actually be better served in doing this rather than the other thing, rather than just connecting. Now I'm going to start to attack this group, but I attack it this way because I want to make my upper Moyo, like start forming my other upper Moyo. I want to start making my upper Moyo. If you're going to do that, you kind of have to do this, because like you get the same result, but I have a lot more cutting. I have like a lot more weaknesses up here. So connecting, definitely not good. Going over here, see, like, this move is bad because now, like, letting me get that move is bad because now, like, this attachment really doesn't work anymore. I mean, if you disconnect, that's fine. I'm not really afraid. So yeah, that gets rid of this attach, but this attach is still here, which is really bothersome to me. But if you do kind of like this attach, if you do this kind of attach, I can just kind of like seal off this side and get this territory. He does that. I'm going to take the Hane first, and then I'm going to destroy your eye space. That's useless because there's no eye space over here. So at this point, like, this group's already in a lot of danger. I don't really know what you would do. I mean, I might try to break out into this space and hope for the best. That might actually be your best solution right now. So like, you might actually break into this space and hope for the best. So like, this group's actually in a lot of danger right now the way he played it. Obviously that's useless. So once, I don't know why you would do that either. This stone, like, yeah, there's eye space here, but this stone isn't really that important. And plus, if you do this and I seal, you have no way to make two eyes. So at this point, you already wasted a move there. You have to figure out some, like, I don't think this really helps you because I would just do this. But you would definitely try to figure out some way to try to make this live. Maybe maybe like do this first and then come down here. Let me do this. Yeah, there's very very little way for him to actually live here. So like realistically, like here, this group is actually in a lot of danger now. I mean, here there are like certain options. Like you can give me a couple points here. That would actually be alive. So like when I do that, like you have to know how to like sacrifice to get Sente. I guess I could do this and then you'd be kind of screwed as well. Yeah, that doesn't work if I do this. But like if I make the mistake and do this, then you're alive. That's kind of like what you would actually hope. Well, yeah, you're alive because you have this eye. That's kind of like what you're actually hoping for. But if you do this and then disconnect, I'm going to do this as well. So, and then if white does this, you just do this, and he still doesn't have two eyes. So you're essentially like you are actually in a lot of trouble down here because you just don't really have enough eye space. And I have ways to invade with both. So you might actually do something like this. That would probably work. Something like that. That's probably like the way you would do. That's probably the way you would actually handle this in here. Of course, there are problems if white does something like this. So this has problems all over the place. This honestly has problems all over the place because you just don't have enough eye space here. So like because this place is so thick, and you actually like basically backed up my defenses here. This group is now in danger. Like you actually establishing this group kind of endangered this group in the end because you made me like thicker over here, so there's no way to escape over here. So obviously this didn't play out well. At this point, he's basically already lost because that's dead over there. This, honestly, I could have tried to kill it just by doing this, but I know that this is weak over here because there's some cutting points. I didn't really want to risk that. So since I already killed that, I'm already ahead. But like realistically, like coming down here might have actually been the best option. Coming down here might have actually been the best option on this. On this, you would just go on top and then probably just like do this to try to threaten this group. If he answers here, you just solidify this. If he answers here, you might solidify this, or you might just like come out here to try to attack more. This group still isn't that secure. I mean, it's pretty good, I would say, but it's still not that secure. If he does an extra move, if he actually like does an extra move here or something, then you solidify this and get this territory. Either way, I'm like a little I'm concentrating on this up here. I'm basically just trying to build like foundations for that, and he does that, goes home. I come over. He's going. Oops. I come over. I do this. I probably like. Then I just solidify here. And this actually does have some threat because he can come out here and break my territory, but then I would probably try to work on like killing this group or something. And this is actually in danger here. This would actually be in danger here. So he does this. I could still try to threaten and kill this group, but it doesn't really matter. I just want this territory, and I'm ahead by like 50 points if I do this. So I just solidify this and kind of win. He does this. I'm just going to retreat. He does that. I'm going to connect here. If he pushes here, I'm just going to do this. And he doesn't really have anything. So he does this. You know, I'm just going to let him live. This is like, he's making eyes, so I understand why he does that. But the thing is, like, here might be a better play for him. Because if I connect this, he can try to fight with me here. Although it would be pretty unsuccessful, I guess. I mean, I wouldn't actually play it out that way. I honestly probably wouldn't play it out that way, though. Like, I would do this. If he connects here, then I might just, like, jump down here or something. And I don't have two eyes. Like, and he can't really do anything because I'm already connected here, right? So I don't really think he has. I don't really think he actually has a different way to. I don't think he actually has a way to disconnect me. So he would. This probably wouldn't work anyways, but this probably wouldn't work anyways. But like basically solidifying my cut here basically ensures his loss because there's no Aji here anymore. And at this point, he actually resigns. So that's actually how you use Moyos to make territory. You don't just try your hardest to play stones to solidify small bits of territory because you're going to get reduced by your opponents a lot. Here, I can just basically, he just created too many weak groups. And then I just used one weak group to build up my strength to kill the other weak group. And I used his invasions. I mean, I didn't try to kill all his invasions. You notice that. Like I know a lot of Q players just try their hardest to kill every invasion. That's usually a recipe for losing the game. You just basically try to take advantage of invasions to maybe kill like one of the groups of his invasion and then just like get all this territory. So hope you learned something. Like and subscribe. Hit that bell notifications button. If you want me to review one of your games on either OGS or Fox, just let me know. As long as you have a record of that game, I'm always glad to review it. So like and subscribe, hit that bell notifications button, and I will see you guys later.